And I'm going, oh, wow, he's really adamant about sharing his tattoo. And I'm looking at you thinking, so where do we go from here on this? You're like, all right, Orlando, leave. We're finishing talking here.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Typical day in the neighborhood.
I remember that, and I told Andre afterwards, I said, hey, I just finished talking to Alberto. Do you know a guy named Orlando Sanchez? He goes, I've heard the name. I go, yeah, he took his clothes off to show me his tattoo. He goes, everything? I go, might as well have. He goes, yeah, that's weird.
he was proud. He's proud of the work, you know?
Yeah.
That's funny. Wow, what jiu-jitsu was it? What jiu-jitsu website or what was it?
We couldn't get it off the ground.
Oh, okay.
After like the 405, we realized that with work and life, it just wasn't going to
After the 405? Yeah. What's the 405?
Oh, people we interviewed.
Oh, got you. It's like a lot of work, right?
We met with like Nino Schembri at the time.
Yeah. He was one of the goats of jiu-jitsu that a lot of people don't know about. He was like the Mike Tyson in the early days of jiu-jitsu. It wasn't a matter of if he was going to beat you, but how he was going to beat you and how fast, right?
I don't know. Well, I've only seen him do it, and he calls it the Mr. Schembri.
Mm-hmm.
So I borrowed it from him, where it's a guy's attacking side control, and it's not the buggy choke, but it looks like you're setting it up.
Mm-hmm.
But he grabs, he's using same side arm and leg, and he grabs his own thigh and just sits up. And he reverses the side control.
Yeah, I think I remember. And
so that was his thing when he was showing us when we were interviewing. He goes, I call this the Mr. Schembri. And we were saying, oh, so no one else is done. He goes, no. It's
Gogo Plata.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a lot of his Plata stuff. Yeah, he's a game changer, for sure.
Do your kids know how how influential you are in the jiu-jitsu MMA early on years, like that bridging for Americans?
I mean, you know, like I'm just grateful that they think I'm okay. I'm cool, because yeah, considering they're teenagers.
Yeah.
If people tell them, or if they, when I go to places, people. Like my daughter's weigh-in, right? For her tournament, like last month, the guy weighing her in was like, "Oh, Crane, is your dad Alberto Crane?" And then he's like, "Oh man," then he like said some things, and so it's nice because then they, I get some what do you call it?
Street cred.
Street cred, yeah.
As your kids are like, they know my dad. I guess that's something.
Yeah. So no, but yeah. They're teenagers right now, so, and it's all good. I'm like I said, you're right. You asked me what's next. I was like, man, I'm just my kids. I want my students to do well, and not just on the map, like in life, So I think my intention, my focus is there, and part of that is our legacy community and TacFit, integrating all that and seeing all these things grow that I really believe in.
TacFit, you got into because of your own situation?
I was introduced to TacFit. My first jiu-jitsu coach, when I first started, he was a Navy SEAL, and he ended up going back into the Navy. He was always ahead of the game with a lot of different things. And after my UFC debut, he's like, listen, you need to get with this guy named Scott Sonnen. Mm-hmm. He's the creator of TacFit. He's different. You got to get with him. Okay. And so he reached out to Scott Sonnen and asked him if he would work with me. And he said yes, because he was a grappler. And so, yeah, we worked together, and he helped me. And he did these assessments, and he did all these movements. And one of the big things that I took away was I got suplexed before a fight. And usually you have to do some, you have to take some pain pills, and I just talk about surgery, and you never fully heal. And I was able to heal myself within a week. Within a week, I was able to heal myself with a movement. And it was that one thing that I was like, man, I have to learn this, that I can heal myself with movement. Why haven't other people shown me this?
Yeah.
So it's something that I never forgot. And then fast forward, maybe like, I don't know, I guess about 5 years. I got a second chance, or he was always took time to help me on social media and whenever I asked him. And I said, I want to go do a certification. And then he invited me to do a TacFit certification up in Bellingham, Washington, where he's from. And I did it, and I started like feeling things. And the more I did it, the better I got, the better I felt, you know. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis after my fight medical in 2012, so 5 years after that when I first met him. And so it all kind of matched up, and yeah, I just never looked back. I've, you know, he's given me all the tools, not just for MS, but it's the same formula for everybody. Just living your best life makes you better at, you know, Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, any activity, and also just life. It gives you basic understanding, like the TacFit principles is like CST, circular strength training. We have like a 3-ring integration with into flow, with the joint mobility movements, you know, moving all your joints. Most people don't know how to move the joints. Some, you know, basic like flow, like called flow fit, or moving yoga, you know, being able to move in all the different directions, or 6 degrees of freedom.
My wife goes to almost all the classes.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I was doing the mobility. I was doing the warm-ups last night with Ricky leading it.
Oh, love it. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
But I look really goofy doing it because it's so awkward. It feels awkward.
You know, you lose movement, right? You lose movement capacities because you don't go into those ranges of motion, and you're like, oh, instead of not doing it, right? You should be trying to get better at those movements, right? And then cleaning like the map in your brain of where you are in space, right? And then it gets better and better and better. And that's like, because that's the active aging, right? When you lose mobility, when you lose your ranges of motion.
So doing the warm-ups last night, even though it wasn't like super complex or super long, there was one exercise about moving the arm like this, like this. I rarely do it because I've injured both my shoulders. But the way he was teaching it and just doing it, I was like, and I was successfully doing it. I was thinking, okay, I just got to incorporate these things daily, just keep the joints moving, just not to feel like locked up.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because we need to move. You know, animals get hurt. Like, you move your things, right? Instead of, you know, you have pain on your shoulders are stiff.